Hello and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast. I'm Terry Morrow and I'm here with Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast we talk about parenting issues, but once a week, Catherine and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. This week we're doubling up on the dancing, watching both Baby Ballroom on Netflix and, of course, first up, Dancing with the Stars. It was Icons Night on Dancing with the Stars, which means famous music people, I guess. Iconic music acts, right? They were all musical icons.
They were, and it amused me that for every single package, they had the pro ask the star who your favorite icon is, and then be like, oh, that's what song we're going to use. Like, it was so... Yes, we know. I mean, yes. It was so like scripted. It
was so scripted and fake over and over
and
over
7
again.
times. Like, this was not necessary. We could have just skipped all that, but okay.
Fine. Mm-hmm. It's a thing. I was going to be nice to Tyra this week, and I was going to say that first outfit she wore was not bad. It was fine. It looked like an actual piece of clothing. And then she changed into something completely ridiculous. So
her Nicki Minaj, robot outfit.
By the end of the season, maybe she'll have turned it down all the way to normal. The fake audience guy, though, is just really refining those skills. When they started chanting AJ's name at the end when he was eliminated.
Yes, and when Tyra said something about this ballroom's going wild, like, no, it's not. Just one guy with a soundboard.
And they were booing the judges again, and it's just all this, it's just so weird.
Yes.
I mean, I suppose it would also be off-putting if it was just silence in the ballroom. Yeah. But just, let's all acknowledge, shall we, that this is fake and not pretend that it's
strange.
Real.
Yes, exactly.
So.
God. And also, the judges did not need to also dress up for Icons Night. This is no longer Halloween.
Yeah. Well, no, they seem to have been going with the theme every week, haven't they?
Yes, but I don't think it's at all necessary.
Yeah, I could have done without Derek and his eyeliner, honestly.
That was an extreme amount of eyeliner.
It really was. And looked like Bruno hit the spray tan booth about 10 times.
Right.
I can't remember if he's been that tan in past weeks. Maybe he has. But it was particularly striking tonight.
Yes.
And the dances were, I thought Justina was underscored.
Yeah.
The 2 who got 10s, they were pretty good. And the ones who
I did really like Johnny's quick step.
Yeah.
It was just really well done, I thought. Mm-hmm. And I don't know these things, but I responded to it. And I'm not I'm not a Amy Winehouse person, it wasn't that. It was definitely the choreography and the performance that.
It was his Amy Winehouse hair. Come on, that's what got you.
Yes, that's what I loved. Speaking of eyeliner, had quite the cat eye going on. To Amy Winehouse.
But he does other times too, right? It's not.
Oh yeah.
I feel like I've seen Johnny in eyeliner more often than I've seen Derek in eyeliner.
So for sure. Yes. And it certainly went with his look. I mean, he needed it.
Certainly did.
It was all part of his Amy Winehouse thing.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah, they were good. And I really, really, really don't want Caitlin to win. She seems perfectly nice, I guess. And she dances well enough, but she's the other one who got a 10, right?
Yeah, the Britney Spears one.
Yeah. Just something about her I'm not warming to, and I don't know if it's just my general resentment of anybody associated with The Bachelor, or that there's just something kind of fakey about her, or that, we already had a Bachelorette last season. Can we have a breather in between Bachelorettes?
Yeah. It's all of those things put together.
And it doesn't help that they keep showing commercials of the Bachelorette season that looks particularly awful and trashy right. to remind us this is where Caitlyn came from, y'all. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'm happy for Artem, but I don't see her leaving anytime soon, but I would be not sad to see her go.
Right. It was exciting when Justina beat her to the bonus.
Yes! I liked it when she said, the thing I had been thinking the whole time was that she doesn't need those points tonight.
Yeah,
Justina needs those
perfect
points.
Score.
Give them to Justina. She went first and thus was scored lower than she should have been.
Right.
So.
And I didn't really follow why Neve and Jenna.
Yeah.
Because they didn't get a perfect score, but yet they still.
They didn't get a perfect score that week. They had it the week before.
The week before.
I guess it has to be based on the week before because I think the reason was they had 7 people and they needed to cut some. Yeah. So it's a weird way to give somebody kind of retroactive immunity. We didn't mention this last week,
right?
But why they wouldn't have said it last week is weird.
Yeah, and then they still had them out there during the elimination part.
Well, no, they were not immune from elimination.
Oh, okay.
They were immune from having to participate in the dance-offs, and they got the 2 points. But then I was thinking, does that put them at a disadvantage? Because everybody else got 2 numbers to get voters excited.
Right.
And they didn't, but it didn't matter.
Right.
It was a weird way of doing it, I think. But
well, is it one benefit of COVID times that we don't have to have trios?
Yes.
Because I hate them, as we've mentioned before.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that they usually do at some point in the season, right?
How many of these could they make a trio by having the pro's spouse join them?
Right. True.
So that would presumably be okay.
Right. Well, but let's not give them any ideas, okay? Because I don't want to.
True. No.
Not. Well, AJ will miss you. You were fun.
Yeah, it was his time. Mm-hmm. But still, I really enjoyed him. And thought that he and Cheryl were a fun couple.
Yeah.
And that he danced with sincerity. And, he was putting himself into it. And I liked that.
Yeah.
And I feel like Daniela took our note from last week.
Mm-hmm.
And got Nellie to smile the entire time.
Yes.
Regardless of what you're getting as a score, regardless of what people are saying to you. He has a nice smile. Mm-hmm. He has an excellent smile. He needs to have that smile on his face all the time.
Right. Unless he's doing a paso doble.
Yeah. Even then, He can look intense, but he shouldn't look sad or angry.
Right.
Which is what he looked last week, most of the time. So, I was very, very happy to see him looking like he was enjoying himself. And she's fantastic. I was watching her dance. She's really
Daniela.
Enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's good. She's filling in the gap that is usually filled for me by Lindsay. So she's getting my Lindsay votes.
Right.
Lindsay, who had her baby this past week.
I saw that.
And it went unmentioned on the show, but
yeah,
she's old news Tyra. Now. Tyra doesn't care.
Mm-hmm.
But, anybody who wishes to celebrate with Lindsay has, can go to Instagram and see 5,000 pictures of the baby. So
right.
They're not keeping it under wraps.
Any and all products that she's using.
Yes.
With the
cute baby.
Mm-hmm.
Sage. Sage Cusick. So now we're on the watch, the labor watch Whitney. For Whitney, I guess.
Right.
And see which of them can post more pictures in the shortest period of time. Lindsay's got a good head start, but I think Whitney's probably up to the challenge.
I believe in her.
The baby picture off, it will be. So Sky did better this time, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And who else do we still have hanging around?
Well, we talked a little bit about Neve and Jenna, their jive.
I liked their dance.
Yeah.
It was very fun.
I liked their dance. I think that's everybody. We talked about them all.
Oh my gosh, there's so few of them.
I know, their numbers
This is the point of the season where you think back on, oh my gosh, Carol Baskin was on this show. You remember when Carol Baskin was on this show? And there was like a couple of athletes. What were their names? I don't remember. In the distant past. Yeah. I remember them. So, also in the news this week, in the Dancing with the Stars news, Gleb and his wife have split up. So it was that sexy bedroom dance last week that probably was the last nail in the coffin.
Yes. I mean, the thing is that anytime one of these pros splits up with their spouse during a season, then their star is going to get dragged into it whether they want to or not.
That's right. Drama, more interesting things happening off the dance floor possibly than on it, but it's, it was enjoyable. It's on to the semifinals. This season is moving swiftly to a close. That's right. And do you think Justina can win it?
I don't know. I mean, do you think she has the voting base that somebody like Caitlyn, who has so many Bachelor people out there? I mean, maybe that's why she's doing so well and why Hannah did so well. And
although I would think that if she was, she got her 10s just purely on the virtue of being good, but there's also always a school of conspiracy thought on these things that if somebody's not giving votes, they give them higher scores if they want to keep them around. So I would have said that would be the problem with Justina from the start. I would have said she'll never make it to the end because she doesn't have that big a voting base. But I don't know. I mean, The Bachelorette is the Bachelor franchise is a big voting base, but she's not that recent, I think. Is she still super hot with the fandom? I don't know. Neve is somebody that people know, but I don't know if there's like a huge catfish voting block coming to deal with Dancing with the Stars.
Right.
I don't know that there's really anybody that's kind of a juggernaut this time.
Mm-hmm.
You would have thought Backstreet Boys fans, but I guess maybe there's not that many of them anymore.
I feel like that's the demographic for this show, though.
That's true. You would think. Well, Tyra's trying to mix that up, so.
Yes, true.
So I don't know. I would like to think she can. I think she would be a great winner for them. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm voting for her. She's going to be, from now on, I got to stop voting for a whole bunch of people.
You're going to throw them all to Justina.
I think I may throw them all to Justina. I may give somebody else half.
Mm-hmm.
But I would really like to see her win.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
She's awesome.
Yeah. And having a good time, it seems to be.
Mm-hmm.
Or being a good actress, if not.
Right. Which we know she can do.
So actually, speaking of parenting, I guess Baby Ballroom is not completely outside our bailiwick of topic.
Right.
Being about little kid and I guess very, very, very young teen ballroom dancers.
Right.
Who knew there was such a thing outside of Dancing with the Stars juniors? But, and I don't know, have we seen Baby Ballroomers on World of Dance? Quite possibly.
Yeah, we saw some pretty young kids on there.
Yeah, we watched the first 2 episodes of season 1 of this series on Netflix. And if nothing else, it would have me for the panorama of adorable British accents.
Yes, I thought about that when I was watching.
Grown-ups, children, each with its own distinct little adorableness.
Yes.
I could just close my eyes and listen to it and be very happy. But it was fun. I liked it. And it wasn't like, oh, these poor kids being driven by their crazy stage parents. I mean, there was a little of that, but the kids seemed to get genuine joy out of what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the young teens a little less because the pressure was more on them.
Yeah.
As, being, I guess, best in the country or something like that. There were some times the bit about the mom forcing her to go on with the twisted ankle was a little intense. Perhaps especially to me because I sprained my ankle recently. And ow!
Yeah.
You want me to do the quick step?
Right.
Are you nuts?
I know, not just anything, a quick step.
Yes. Oh my goodness. but children are flexible, and apparently there was some spray that makes it not hurt. Goodness. But the little kids seem to be having a ball, generally. And so you didn't get that feeling like their childhood is being stolen by ambitious parents. The kids seemed into it, and the parents were mostly sort of, well, this is what we're doing, I guess. So, I mean, the little kids, Max and Olivia, Max's parents were ballroom dancers, so they were a lot more into it. But Olivia's parents,
they were just along
dad
for the
was
ride.
Adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was just, well, never knew there was such a thing, but she's doing this, so I'm into it.
I mean, that and so much else about this was like, I feel like I'm watching something about skating, for sure.
Yes, I imagine it must have been particularly so for you.
Yeah, I mean, the sort of hair and makeup and dresses and being a big part of it. And the fact that, you know, people take it so seriously, you know, and you're like in a middle school gym, but it's like everyone's got the sparkly dresses and it's, you know, the 10 pounds of makeup and we all are just like very intense about it. And that reminds me very much of this whole skating culture. And, you know, you have some parents who either they did it themselves or maybe they had an older child that did it or something and they're like seasoned. And then you have the newbies who are just like, what is happening? Okay. I mean, that I could relate to for sure. I remember the first time my daughter was in an ice show. So, you know, she didn't have her own skates yet. She just was, you know, taking the little learn to skate lessons at the rink. And they had photos for like the program of the ice show. So I knew enough that I was supposed to bring her in her costume. Mm-hmm. I did not know I was supposed to take her to get her hair done, you know, do her makeup, like the whole deal. I mean, she was 8. Like I had no clue.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I particularly enjoyed the 2 moms of the 2-girl team.
Yes.
Who were like, oh, I think she made a mistake there. Oh, I think they're going the wrong way. Oh, I don't know what's going. They're probably not going to do very well. And then they won. And she's like, well, I guess I don't know anything.
Right. That is often how I feel. You know, how did they do? I think they did okay. I don't know. And the whole thing, you know, the subjective judging, like that's related to skating. And when Max and Olivia were talking and, you know, Max was like, well, you could get a bad judge. And Olivia's sitting there like, that's not what we say. Like,
that's right. They were so funny. Give those 2 a sitcom immediately.
They were awesome. And also in the second episode, we watched the little boy named Jack.
The little
blonde. And again, in our skating club, we have a little blonde boy named Jack. Yeah. And he's a little bit older than this one, but he is, you know, he just has so much character and charisma. And so I was like, I feel like I'm watching our own Jack. Like it just.
He is digging it.
Yes.
It's just.
He figured out that if you make faces, you get better scores. Like, yep, that's right, buddy.
Yeah. And he and his partner also seem to have moms who are like, well, guess this is what we're doing.
Yes.
So
they were like, it used to be just an hour on a Saturday. We're way past that now. Like, yep, I know what you're going through, ladies.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. The young ones, it was mostly fun with the, were they 13 or 14, the Mia and Andre?
I think Mia was only 13 and Andre was 14.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that shows how this proceeds, that it starts out where it's fun and you're all into it. And then by the time you're an early teenager, you're leaving your home and your family to go live with somebody else so you can compete in dancing. And, you know, Mia seems to be, you know, into it, but starting to chafe a little against, I guess, her mother and grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
I see difficulties ahead as we continue to watch this show.
If they keep showing them, because the kind of weird thing about this show was that the through line is the the couple who run the dance studio.
Yeah.
Instead of the kids. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I'd kind of rather see more of the kids. I mean, it's because it's a different set, a couple different sets of kids in each episode. At least that's how the first two went. And I kind of was like, well, I'd rather see more of Jack than the dad who runs the dance studio. I don't like the way he talks to his wife.
Yeah. And oh man, their daughters.
Yes.
I mean, was like the reality show people coaching them to the two who are into ballroom dancing to be so creepily nasty looking to their sister?
I know. It was
if that's natural, then somebody needs to intervene with that family. And if it's not natural, what a crappy thing to do unless she's in on the joke.
Yeah.
Because that was painful.
Yeah, they were really making fun of her between the producers and the sisters. Yeah, it was.
That was uncomfortable and not necessary in any way at all.
Right.
It's perfectly okay to say two girls are into this, one isn't. Let's focus on the two who are into it. Who, even when they were like showing the one girl and her boyfriend and stuff, she did not seem very nice. So I don't know what's up with all that, but that's the one place where it seemed like somebody had their thumb on the scale.
Right.
These portrayals.
And, I didn't necessarily think that he was a bad coach or that he didn't treat the students well.
Yeah.
I've seen plenty of coaching that's like, get your bum in, whatever, like kind of yelling. Mm-hmm. But the kids know that this is just how they learn. But the way he talked to his wife, I just was like really skeeved. I don't know. That was different. And when they showed her teaching the very little ones, she was great. Mm-hmm. They seemed to really love being with her and having her coach them.
Yeah.
But maybe he only lets her coach the really little kids.
I don't know. I didn't notice that dynamic, but I'll keep an eye out for it in the next one.
Yeah, he was just kind of eye-rolly with her and...
How is it? Is this something that happens in skating too, where teachers wind up being the judges also and have to judge the kids that they coach?
No, that's not done.
There was like Max's mother was judging at one point, and his coach was judging at one point.
Yeah, no.
And either they're going to give them a pass, which is bad, or they're going to judge them too harshly, which is bad. I just don't. Maybe they have a shortage of judges.
Yeah, no, I mean, in skating, it's very, in order to be a judge, you have to kind of be certified and pass, like, not exams, but you have to go to, like, school, they call it school, training, to become a judge, and you're certified, to judge certain levels and certain styles. If you're a dance judge, you can't just go and judge synchro. Like you have to be, you have to have sort of permission from U.S. figure skating to judge certain things. And and there's levels, there's like bronze, silver, gold. So yeah, a lot of those judges, I'm sure were once coaches or once skaters, but they definitely don't go around coaching anymore. Yeah. And like even actually in our area, we have a judge who lives here, and then his sister is a coach, and he cannot judge any event that any of her students are in.
Yeah.
So
that seems right.
That seems right to me too.
Yeah. Well, we're going to keep watching this, at least for the first season's worth. So next week, we'll be watching episodes 3 and 4 of the second season of Baby Ballroom on Netflix and the semifinals of Dancing with the Stars. And that is going to be it for our round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes. We have something new for you every weekday. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Goodbye, Catherine.
Bye, Terry.
Goodbye, everybody.